Hello, beautiful souls. It is Casey Knight, Aurora Light, here to share with you some of the alchemy that I just worked in my own household and share with you a little bit of how I was able to turn some really icky, stuck, dense energy that my daughter was experiencing about school into something that seemed exciting and uplifting. Alchemy is the transmutation of one substance into another, and while I haven't figured out how to actually turn lead in the physical into gold energetically, this is one of my specialties, and I love not only doing this with my clients and teaching this in my certification program, teaching people how to work with these principles of evolutionary alchemy, but I also love to do that with my own family as well. So let me share with you. My daughter, who is almost 6, has been home sick all week, and she's been really grateful for that because she has not been digging kindergarten right now. It used to be her favorite thing, and she loved her kindergarten teacher, but it's gotten real over the last while. And the kids have been learning their letters, and there's a very precise and specific way that they have to do the letters. And she loves doing her letters from the bottom up instead of the top down, and that is incorrect according to her teacher. It's not as efficient. So I understand that, there's no wrong way to do something, but with the letters, it is really wonderful to be able to scribe quickly and efficiently in a way that the letters can be understood. And my husband has the handwriting of a kindergartner, and he writes his letters from the bottom up, so I think it might be genetic, but I'm hoping that with practice we can rewire that neural pathway for her. But the thing is, she doesn't like it. She's like, I don't want to do it the way they're telling me to do it. And while I don't want to squash her independent spirit, in fact, I foster it, and I'm going to be doing so much to support her in being able to retain that, there are some things that I want her to learn in a way that is going to support her, like making letters so she can read and write. So the question was not, how can I help her learn letters the right way, right? That is going to happen. She is going to go through and she's going to learn them with practice. It was about shifting her perspective. And how I explained this to her was actually in a couple ways, multi-layered. But number one is, when something is not fun and it's feeling heavy, it's feeling really dense, it's feeling like we don't want to do it, we can either change the activity or we can change our perception of it. So I told her, when something is feeling not fun, you get to access mom's superpower that I think, it's time for you to learn about. And that power is making anything fun. In fact, I've had people tell me back when I was a kid, you could have fun at a funeral. And I was like, yeah, I'm Irish. We totally have fun at funerals and wakes. And I have indeed had fun at these events. And it is a practice that I have cultivated. But it's because I know how to shift the frequency and the perspective of whatever is happening without bypassing it, right? We feel the feelings. It's okay to feel the frustration. It's okay to feel the sadness at a funeral, but it's also okay to feel the joy and to hold it all. And so I wanted to share with her that you can put on different glasses, some really goofy glasses, and start to make some things fun, right? Through the perspective shifting and accessing her superpower. She's like, wait a minute, Mom, I think I already have that. I was like, you do? You must have gotten that from me. She's like, I think I did. I think I know how to make things fun. I was like, okay, great. What is a one way that you could turn this job that you don't like very much into something fun? And she decided that she could sing the alphabet song in her head when she's tracing the letters, and that might help make it kind of fun. So she's shifting the perspective, and I got her to think of something that would shift the energy of it for her. We also brought in something that she already knows to anchor this to a memory of the Mary Poppins song, right? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. I started to sing that with her, and she started to sing it too. She goes, Mom, what does that actually mean? And I said, well, if you make the job a game, it takes the work from feeling icky and heavy and boring and like you don't want to do it and you don't understand why you have to do it, all of those feelings like you have about writing letters, and it turns it into something fun. That's a superpower, and that was one of Mary Poppins' superpowers, and it's one of my superpowers to make things fun, and it's one of yours too. And she got really excited about all of this and started to think of more and more ways that she could make it fun. So she shifted her perspective. She alchemized it. But the thing that also I shared with her was about the power of making letters, about being able to spell. And I was like, you were at the very boring part now, love. You're at the boring part of learning how to practice it and get good at it so it's easy. And, you know, you've done hard things before. Like, you know how to do the monkey bars. And that took a lot of practice. She's like, yeah, but the practicing for that was fun. And I was like, I get it. I get that we don't always want to do things. That's part of life. It's like, but did you know that being able to write down letters is actually a kind of magic? She's like, what? I'm like, no, seriously. This is how witches and magicians and other people who practice magic actually do magic. You've heard of spelling before, right? And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, when you spell a word like C-A-T, you're spelling it out and you're using the letters, right? She goes, yeah, she knows about that. She knows about spelling bees. She knows about how the letters get put together, but she can't quite read most words yet. And I was like, did you know when you're speaking words out loud, when you're practicing magic, that is casting a spell. And when you write them down, that is called spelling, because it activates the magic in the words by writing it down. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, so really, truly, what you're doing right now is you are learning how to be magic. But do you think magic is easy? She goes, no, it's not easy to be magical. I'm like, I know, you gotta do what? And she goes, process and be joyful. I was like, okay, I was going for practice. But she was like, process and be joyful. Okay, great. These are amazing magical tools. And also we practice. She's like, yes, this makes sense. You have to practice anything to get better at it. So, hi, Lily. The process of talking about all of these beautiful different ways that we can shift our perspective of the mundane activity, like writing letters and learning how to read and write, into a magical quest and a magical adventure, was bringing this new energy of possibility into it and taking something so mundane and actually turning it into something secret and a game. And I told her that one of her teachers would actually know this already. One of her teachers, who's a good friend of mine, would be totally on board with going, yeah, totally. You know, you can write magic spells and we can practice our magic like that. I don't know if her other teacher would. So I told her it might be something that she's going to practice and other people might not even believe her, right? But it's true. If you want to be magical and create, writing words down is one of the ways that you can do that. Like setting an intention, we write it down. Goal setting, like this is not just woo stuff. I'm talking about the scientific proof of it. Writing goals down will actually increase your ability to make that goal happen by something like 80%. That might be overstating, it might be 70%. But anyway, what a powerful thing. This is not just like the woo of it all. This is our words create our reality. They create our expectations. They create our experience in the world. And when you take an idea from the idea realm and you take it through your body, which is light grounding it, and then you physicalize it by writing it down, it is more concrete. You're taking it from the idea realm, the mental realm, that etheric realm, into physical reality. So when you do that, you're more likely to achieve your goals and to actually, make your intentions become reality. This is something that is scientifically proven, and it just goes to show the power of the word. Our words create our reality, and we are constantly casting spells with the words that we're saying. How we are saying the words is shaping how we perceive the world, right? It's shaping how we perceive the world, shaping how we perceive activity. So if my daughter, for example, is hanging out in the energy of letters suck and tracing letters suck and I don't get to do it my way, all of that, her experience is gonna really be uncomfortable and unpleasant and not very much fun. But she has the power, and I'm reminding her that she has the power to create her reality by choosing different words to express and explain what is happening, by making magic out of the mundane and realizing that the words that she is using are the magic itself, right? And she is practicing becoming more magical by learning how to read and write, and she can inject the fun into it herself because she has that superpower inside of her. So I'll be able to report back and let you know how that experience shifts for her when she goes back to school. And I am so excited that I have been able to share with her these perspective shifts now when she's just 5 and 6, and she's really learning that she gets to shift and choose how she experiences reality by choosing the words that she is using to express what's going on, and consciously choosing to maybe use different words, maybe bring in different frequencies, and maybe have some freaking fun while she's doing it. This lesson from school magic is applicable to all magic. This is what I do in my one-on-one sessions. This is what I do in my group work. We take energies that feel really heavy and dense, like we don't really want them to stick around in our bodies because they don't feel good. They feel like they're contracting us and crushing our energy. They just feel really heavy. We take those with love and compassion and gratitude, and we feel whatever feelings need to be felt inside of them. We don't bypass that. We honor it. We got to feel it to heal it. But then we go, what is this pointing me towards? What is the lesson here? What would I like instead? And then we can start to pick the frequencies of what we would like instead and start to move into that frequency. I do have processes that I use, like belief repatterning and different intuitive activations from highest self to be able to accomplish this. It's not always as easy as just speaking it, but it is a tool that we can use to alchemize the energy with love and gratitude. We can take the stuff that feels heavy and dense and constricting, and we can choose a different frequency to focus on and expand and grow. And what we focus on does expand and grow with our attention and our intention. So taking something that feels heavy and going, what would I prefer? What would I rather have? And say thank you to that heavy, dense energy for showing me what I don't want, right? Thank you for the lessons. I appreciate that. And it points us to what we do want instead. So when my daughter was feeling that energy of heaviness in writing the letters, I chose for her. I was like, okay, well, why don't we focus on how it could feel magic instead of feeling like the worst thing ever, right? And I wove in a bunch of different details so she could feel that. And also, you can manipulate your reality like that too. That is alchemy. That is magic. We can use our words to create different experiences. If this feels like something you'd like to explore more of, I do this in all of my programs, but I also teach people how to do this for their clients and in their workshops, and create energies of transmutation and alchemy in all of their workshops and programs and retreats in my conscious creation coaching certification. So if that feels like something you would like to explore and you would like to be able to do, I adore sharing my superpowers with you. Because if I'm just working one-on-one with my clients, which is a lot of fun, I can only reach one person. And this new role that I have, that I've been in for about 6 months of facilitating and sharing this and teaching other people to do it too, so that they can go and ripple this out, is my way of spreading more magic into the world, right? Of helping people realize that they can consciously create their reality and that they are alchemists. Everybody has this capacity. Everybody has this possibility. And you can alchemize and transmute energy in so many ways, right? Your words are just one way. You can do it through breath and sound and movement. You can do it through, just your conscious thought, whether or not you think in words or you just think in concepts or images or whatever. You can shift frequencies. You have the power. Let me know if you feel like sharing this kind of alchemy is part of your journey. Message me if it feels like you're like, I want to learn how to do this too, for me, for other people to be able to hold space for them as well. We are all alchemists, and evolutionary alchemy is the signature system that I teach in my certification program. We also work with the elements and all of the different facets of working with the earth and the cosmos as well. But being able to alchemize things from that contracting, heavy, dense feeling, there's nothing wrong with it, but we don't always want to hold that in our body, into something that feels light and more like us. this is, I think, the best magic that we can access. So, like I said, I will let you know how it goes with Charlie, my daughter, and I would love to hear your alchemy stories as well. So feel free to share those with me in the comments if you've been watching the replays. And if you want more information about how you can learn how to do this too, message me and I would love to share with you. So this is day 45 of the 365 Live Challenge. I will certainly be back tomorrow to share more of my magic with you. I'm sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day.